Have you ever stood in the middle of your own marriage and felt completely alone? Like you're screaming into a void where even your most honest words just disappear? You smile at the grocery store, laugh at family gatherings, but inside there's this quiet ache, this fear that if you really spoke up about what's missing, it wouldn't change anything anyway. If that resonates with you, stay with me. Because today we're talking about the unspoken truths so many women carry in silence. We've all seen those couples. The ones who post the matching pajamas at Christmas, the sunset vacations, the perfectly coordinated date nights. The ones who seem to glide through life without a single argument, whose biggest problem is deciding which Instagram filter makes their love look even more magical. But here's what no one tells you. Behind every perfect photo is a real couple. One that has probably had silent car rides home, nights where they went to bed angry, moments where they wondered if they were even happy anymore. Maybe you've scrolled through those pictures and felt that pang in your chest, that whisper of, why doesn't my marriage look like that? Let me tell you a secret. It doesn't, and it's not supposed to. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it rewrites reality. It takes the messy, unglamorous, human parts of your relationship. The way he forgets to put his socks in the hamper. The way you bicker over whose turn it is to unload the dishwasher. The nights you're too tired to talk but still reach for his hand under the covers. It makes you believe they're proof that your love isn't enough. But real love isn't found in the highlight reels. It's in the mundane, the unposed, the unedited. Think about it. When was the last time you posted a picture of the two of you after a sleepless night with a sick kid? Or the raw, vulnerable conversation you had at 11 p.m. when you finally admitted, I'm not okay. We don't share those moments because they're not pretty, but those are the moments that actually build a marriage. The pressure to perform, to make your love look effortless, to hide the struggles, is exhausting. It makes you feel like you're failing when really you're just human. But here's the truth. A strong marriage isn't one that looks perfect from the outside. It's one where two people keep choosing each other, even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when there's no camera around to capture it. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, remember, you're not seeing their reality. You're seeing their curated reality. And your marriage, with all its flaws, its quiet sacrifices, its unspoken I love yous in the form of packed lunches and back rubs after a long day, is worthy, exactly as it is. You know his coffee order by heart? 2 sugars, no cream, in the blue mug because the red one doesn't feel right. You remember how he likes his socks folded, the way he always leaves the last bite of dessert for later, that story he told once about being scared of thunderstorms as a kid. These details live in your bones because you've made space for them. But here's the question that keeps you up at night. When was the last time he made space for you? Not for the version of you that packs his lunch or remembers his mother's birthday. Not for the you that nods along when he talks about his bad day at work. But for you, the woman who still gets nervous before doctor's appointments, who misses singing in the choir like she did in college, who has that secret dream she's never said out loud because no one's ever asked. Emotional invisibility isn't dramatic. It doesn't leave bruises. It's quieter than that. More insidious. It's in the way his eyes glaze over when you talk about the book that moved you. The way he scrolls through his phone while you're mid-sentence about your childhood friend moving away. The way you've started editing yourself before speaking, thinking, why bother? He's not really listening anyway. You've tried to explain it before. I just need you to see me, you've said. And maybe he'll try. For a day, a week, before slipping back into old patterns. That's the cruelest part. He's not a villain. He probably loves you in his way. But love without attention is like a plant without water. It might not die overnight, but it withers by degrees. Here's what I want you to know. That ache in your chest when you realize another day has passed without him really looking at you. It's not you being needy. It's not just how men are. It's your soul begging to be witnessed. Because you're not a supporting character in his story. You're the entire universe of someone, yourself. and you deserve to be known. The next time you feel that familiar loneliness creeping in, try this. Stop performing. Stop shrinking. Say the thing you've been biting back. Wear the outfit that makes you feel alive even if he doesn't notice. Reconnect with the friend who always asks, "No, really, how are you?" Start showing up for yourself the way you've been showing up for everyone else. Because here's the truth no one tells you. You can't make someone see you, but you can stop disappearing. You stand in the grocery aisle at 6 p.m., your mind racing through a mental checklist that never seems to end. You know he prefers the spicy pasta sauce, but the kids won't eat it. You're nearly out of milk. And you can't remember if you rescheduled that dentist appointment. When his text pops up asking, "Need anything from the store?" You feel that familiar mix of frustration and exhaustion, because the real problem isn't the grocery list, it's that you're not just managing tasks, you're managing his awareness of the tasks. This is the crushing weight of being the default, the CEO of your household, the keeper of all the invisible things that keep your lives running smoothly. You're the one who knows the pediatrician's phone number by heart while he'd have to look it up. You automatically check the weather before dressing the kids while he might walk out in shorts in January. Your brain holds the mental calendar tracking school projects, car maintenance, and family birthdays. And when you finally reach your breaking point and say something, he responds with, "Just tell me what you need help with," completely missing the point. He thinks this is about dividing up chores, when really it's about the emotional labor of being the one who remembers, who anticipates, who carries the mental load day after day. The resentment builds in quiet but powerful ways. You stop making his favorite cookies because he never notices when you've run out of your tea. That broken drawer stays broken for months as you wait to see how long it takes him to fix it. Even intimacy becomes just another item on your endless mental to-do list. When you say you're tired, it's not just physical exhaustion. It's the soul-deep weariness of being the only one who notices when the toilet paper is running low or the kids need new shoes. This isn't about keeping score or playing the martyr. It's about the fundamental imbalance in how you experience your shared life. He gets to live in the relationship while you're constantly managing it. The solution isn't for you to communicate better or make more lists. It's for him to develop the same sense of ownership and responsibility that you've had all along. Love shouldn't feel like a solo performance where you're doing all the work while he waits for his cues. True partnership means both of you being equally invested in noticing what needs to be done and taking initiative to do it, without being asked, without expecting praise, simply because this is your shared life and you both care enough to pay attention. The path forward starts with honest conversations about how this imbalance makes you feel, with concrete examples that help him understand the mental load you carry. It continues with him taking real responsibility, not just completing assigned tasks, but developing the awareness and initiative that should be part of any equal partnership. And it requires you to resist the urge to step in and manage everything, even when it's uncomfortable to let things fall through the cracks. Because only when he experiences the natural consequences of not paying attention will he truly understand what you've been carrying all along. This isn't about blame. It's about building a marriage where both partners are equally engaged in the daily work of loving each other and building a life together. There's a special kind of heartbreak that comes when you realize you're someone's habit rather than their choice. He says, "I love you" before leaving for work, kisses you goodnight, and checks all the boxes of a devoted partner. Yet you can't shake this quiet ache inside. Because love isn't measured in routines or obligations. It's found in those daily decisions where he actively chooses you. You feel it in the way he scrolls through his phone when you're sharing something vulnerable, his attention divided between your heart and a meaningless newsfeed. You see it when he consistently prioritizes his comfort, staying late at work, watching the game, needing alone time, while your emotional needs become negotiable. You know it when special occasions pass with generic gifts and half-hearted plans, when he forgets the little things that light you up, when you start to wonder if he even sees you anymore, or just the role you fill in his life. This isn't about grand romantic gestures. It's about the thousand small moments where love becomes an action rather than just a feeling. When he puts down his book because he sees tears in your eyes, when he remembers how you take your coffee without being reminded, when he plans a date night because he knows you've been craving connection. These are the choices that make love feel alive, the ones that whisper, "You matter to me." Without them, you begin to feel like a fixture in your own marriage, present but not cherished, needed but not desired. The loneliness this creates is particularly cruel because it's so hard to articulate. How do you explain that you feel alone while lying next to him in bed? That his love feels like a blanket thrown over your shoulders when what you really need is arms pulling you close? The healing begins when you start believing you deserve to be chosen. Not just once in a wedding vow, but every single day. It starts with having the courage to say, "I need more than words," and the strength to stop accepting crumbs when you're starving for a feast. Because you weren't made to be someone's comfortable habit. You were made to be someone's radiant, undeniable choice. Love is not just a noun, it's a verb. And verbs require action. There's a particular kind of grief that lives in the space between what your marriage is and what you desperately wish it could be. You've drafted the conversation in your head 1,000 times, during your morning shower, on your commute to work, in those quiet moments before sleep. You know exactly what you need to say. But then the fear creeps in, heavy and suffocating. What if I lay my heart bare and nothing changes? This fear isn't irrational. Maybe you've tried before. Maybe you've carefully chosen your words only to watch his eyes glaze over as he nods mechanically. Maybe he's said all the right things in the moment. "I'll do better. I didn't realize." Only to slip back into old patterns within days. Each time this happens, the hope inside you fractures a little more, until the thought of speaking up again feels like setting yourself up for another heartbreak. So you stay silent. You swallow the disappointment when he forgets your anniversary. Again. You bite your tongue when he interrupts your story at dinner parties. You tell yourself it's easier to just lower your expectations than to face the devastating possibility that your pain might not be enough to make him truly see you. The unspoken truth? This silence isn't peace. It's the slow erosion of your spirit. But here's what your fear doesn't want you to know. Your needs are not unreasonable. Your longing for connection is not too much. And your voice, even when it wavers, deserves to be heard. Because every time you choose to speak your truth, you reclaim a piece of yourself regardless of his response. Yes, it's terrifying to risk hope, but it's even more dangerous to keep pretending you don't deserve more. Because the real question isn't, will he change? It's, how long am I willing to abandon myself to keep this peace? Your answer to that question might just be the beginning of your freedom. If any of this felt like I reached into your chest and put words to what you couldn't, I want you to know something. You are not crazy. You are not too much. You are a woman who loves deeply, and that's why the ache feels so sharp. But love shouldn't cost you your peace. It shouldn't make you feel small. However your story unfolds from here, promise me one thing. You won't stop believing you deserve more than silence. Because you do. If today's story touched something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share and subscribe so we can keep these honest conversations going. And if you have a story of your own or need advice on something you're carrying in silence, drop it in the comments. I read every word, and who knows, your story might become the next video that helps someone feel a little less alone. This is Marriage Matters, and your voice matters here.